Hey guys, after doing this series since I believe February, I've covered the Metropolitan Division. I've made two videos covering the NHL's Atlantic Division. Then I covered the entire Pacific Division. Plus I did a previous video on the Central Division. And now, after doing 5 previous videos, actually, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yep, I'm right. So after doing 5 previous videos, this will be the 6th and final video in this 4-part video series covering NHL jersey changes that I would like to see. And ever since my last video, instead of predictions, it's now me telling you guys which of the teams mentioned in the Central Division are getting new uniforms next year for sure. So, in my last video, I covered the Jets, the Avalanche, the Wild, and the St. Louis Blues. And to conclude this series, I am going to talk about the Blackhawks, the Stars, and the Nashville Predators, who are currently in their very first Stanley Cup final. And after 4 games, they are giving Pittsburgh a real run for their money, as the series is now tied 2-2. And I kind of think, and I could be wrong, but I have a feeling Nashville's going to win the Stanley Cup. Personally, I would love to see Pittsburgh have a dynasty, but I kind of think Nashville's going to win it. But remember, folks, I could be wrong. But anyways, for this series, it's been a lot of fun. And as always, I want to thank Orbital Xstride 52, one of my subscribers, for the suggestion of doing this series in the first place. And I've enjoyed doing this series, and now it's time to finally conclude it. So, for the first team I'm going to talk about, I'm actually going to talk about the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, of course, their jerseys are absolute classics. My favorite jerseys in hockey. My absolute favorite jersey is Chicago's red jersey. And obviously, they're not going to make any changes. However, if there's a thing that I would like to see them do, I would like to see them either bring back their 2009 Winter Classic jersey as a third jersey, or even as a 2 or 3 time a year throwback uniform. I think they should do that, at least. Or, with the NHL celebrating 100 years this year in 2017, I would love to see Chicago bring back their 1991-92 throwback uniform. Because for whatever reason, I've always felt it was a cool jersey. I would not want to see it on the ice all the time, but for a throwback, I would love to see it make an NHL, make an appearance in an NHL game in the not too distant future, with the NHL celebrating its 100th anniversary. I would love to see that jersey come back. I've always felt it was a nice looking jersey. I mean, I prefer the 09 Winter Classic jersey, but I would love to see that jersey come back, especially with this season, or pardon me, this year being the NHL's 100th anniversary. And next season is the NHL's 100th season. So I couldn't think of a better time for Chicago to bring that uniform back. But if they're not going to have a third jersey, which I do agree with them, they don't need one, I think they should at least have a throwback uniform to wear 2 or 3 times a year. And personally, I loved the 09 Winter Classic uniform. And truth is, I actually really liked the 2017 Winter Classic uniform they wore earlier this year as well. I thought it was quite decent, and I loved seeing the older throwback logo as the crest on a jersey again. But I think that if Chicago's going to be in another outdoor game, I think they definitely should have a vintage white jersey with the older 50s logo on the front. I think something like that would be really cool, because let's see. So the 2014-15 season, Chicago played in the Winter Classic against Washington. They had practically their away jersey with a few changes. The following year, they had their Stadium Series jersey, which, for the idea of being ultra modern and slightly futuristic, it wasn't actually a bad uniform. The collar, I wish they would not have done that. I wish that they would have just basically made it their away jersey with a black shoulder yoke and a lace-up collar, but they did not do that. But still, it was not too bad. And truth is, if they made a jersey just like their away jersey with just a black shoulder yoke, or even a black jersey with a white shoulder yoke and the same striping as their very first third jersey from the 1990s with a lace-up collar, truth is, I think something like that could actually be a cool alternate jersey down the road. But yeah, with Chicago, I mean, if they're not going to have a third jersey, they should definitely have a throwback uniform to wear 2 or 3 times a year. And if they're going to keep playing in outdoor jerseys, which even as somebody who likes Chicago, I think they've been in way too many outdoor games. I think if they're going to be in another outdoor game, either they need a new throwback uniform like the one from the 91-92 season, or they should come up with a vintage white jersey just to finally change things up a little bit. And speaking of Chicago, I know that my one subscriber, Nick Signor, is a huge Chicago fan. So I would definitely tell you viewers who are Chicago fans like him and the We Just Heat 96 that Chicago definitely has great uniforms, but I really want to see that 91-92 throwback in an outdoor game at some point, or just as a specialty third for the NHL's 100th season. But with Adidas coming in next year, and with the NHL not having thirds next year, that's probably not going to happen. But all I know is that there is a Winter Classic, there's an NHL 100 Classic, plus there is also one Stadium Series game next year. So could they have another Centennial Classic game with Chicago in it? Very possible. But that's still yet to be determined at this point. But I do think that Chicago definitely needs a timeout from outdoor games. And speaking of Chicago, though, to my one subscriber, the We Just Heat 96, honestly, I haven't mentioned this in any of my videos yet, but the truth is I've been following your channel since you made that Our Generation Sucks video, and I've been a big fan of yours ever since, and I can't believe that of all the people out there, you subscribe to my channel. Honestly, that was awesome when I saw that. I'm not going to lie. But also, was it you, Nick Signor, that mentioned that the teams unveiled that they found out about the Adidas changes from sportslogos.net? I think it was you, or I could be wrong, but I know somebody mentioned it, so I want to get this off my chest. To talk about that, I will have a video up very soon talking about NHL jersey changes for next season and what is known so far. So as soon as this video is done, that will be my next video guaranteed. But anyways, I'm going to move on to the Dallas Stars. So a few years ago, they decided that their old black and white jerseys that just said Dallas on the front were absolute garbage, which they were, and they finally came up with half-decent uniforms. And I felt they were 10 times better than those star-shaped jerseys ever were. And I would honestly say that they are probably the best jerseys Dallas has had as a team since they've moved from Minnesota. That's how I look at it. But the thing with Dallas is that with them they are supposedly making changes for next season, which I don't think they're going to make many changes. I could see them getting a new shoulder patch with the state of Texas on it. Or I could see them slightly alter their striping. Or I could see them add some black trim to their numbers. And maybe the letters on the back of the uniforms as well. Which, personally, I think that would be a great idea. I've always felt that their jerseys were missing black trim around the numbers, and if they added it to the numbers and the letters, I actually think that would look better. And if that's all they do, I would be very happy with that. But on the topic of Dallas getting new uniforms, a lot of people have said that the Stars' new green jersey is way too similar to the Chicago Blackhawks St. Patrick's Day jersey, which is just a fan jersey. It's never been actually something that they've ever worn, which I actually would like to see Chicago wear that jersey on the ice for just one game. I think that would be awesome, but I don't think it's ever going to happen, but not really a big deal. But with the Stars, if they're going to make changes to their uniforms, I think they should make the green jerseys striping match their away jersey. I think if they did that, it would actually be a little bit more original. Although I do like the striping on their jersey, I do see where people are coming from when they say, hey, this is a little too close to Chicago. I really don't think it's a big deal. And actually, the striping is more along the lines of the New York Rangers, to be honest. But I don't think the striping matching Chicago's jersey or the Rangers jersey for that matter is a big deal. But if they decided to make the striping match their away jersey, I would not be against it, to be honest. And maybe even a shoulder yoke on the green jersey, but I like it the way it is without one. But with Dallas, one thing I've never liked is their shoulder patch. It's just their logo without the beveling, without the three-dimensional treatment to it inside a roundel. And I think they definitely should go with the state of Texas on their shoulders again, or they should come up with something new. And with the Stars, though, another thing too, and I don't know if people are going to agree with me on this, but I don't like the shade of green that they went with. And I think most people are going to sit there and hear it and be like, what? What the hell are you talking about? It's a bright green. It's awesome. Well, I totally agree that having a lighter green is great, but I wish they would have gone with Kelly green instead of this victory green that's got more of a bluish hint to it. I've never been a big lover of the Irish green color that they went towards, and I think I'm very much in the minority on that, and that's okay, but I wish they would actually go with Kelly green instead of the victory green that they went with. Now, I totally respect the Stars' decision to go with that color just to keep things unique. It is a unique shade of green. I totally agree. But unique isn't necessarily better all the time. And I don't know what it is, but I like the shade of Kelly green that the North Stars had over the victory green that the Stars have now in Dallas. And I like the Kelly green because it's a little bit brighter. But the biggest thing for me that I have never liked about the Stars' new uniforms is their logo. Personally, guys, I have never liked it. It looks like something that somebody made on a computer program, and it doesn't, to me, do I think it's a terrible logo? No, I don't. But I just don't like the look of it. Let me see if I should actually show you guys what I mean. You know what? This is my last video for this series. I'll go out with a bang and show you what I mean. Let's see. Just bear with me for one moment. Okay, here we go. There we go. Here's the logo. See, it's little things like this and this. It looks like the D is forced onto the star, and I've never liked it. And truth is, the only way this logo works is with the beveling treatment, which I understand, but truth is, I've never liked this logo. It's not terrible, but I definitely don't think it's great. And it's these little cut-off things. It looks like it was forced on a computer program or something. I've never been able to honestly get behind it. But I'll show you guys something else here too. I mean, I don't know how you guys are going to feel about it, and that's fine. But for me, let's see. This is definitely my favorite Dallas Stars logo. Without the Dallas subscript on the top where it just says Stars. That to me is definitely my favorite. So, with Dallas, it's kind of hard because I do agree with people. They have always looked good just being green and gold, or green, black, and gold. But I also respect the Stars' decision not to be green, black, and gold and just to be green and black, because really it helps them stand out from the original North Stars. And I do respect their decision to do that. But for me, it's kind of tough to say what I would really like to see in a new Dallas Stars uniform. I mean, their current uniforms, although I would prefer if they went with Kelly green, and although I don't like their logo, I definitely have to give them props for being the only team in the NHL with a lighter green uniform. And truth is, their traditional design that they've got on their uniforms now actually looks really quite decent compared to a lot of other looks in the NHL right now. I mean, I love the Stars away jersey. I mean, the Victory green looks more like a Kelly green on the shoulders because it's on a white uniform. It really looks nice and bright, and I love that. For me, if the Stars would just put their old Stars logo on the front of that uniform and put black trim around their letters and numbers on their uniform and put the State of Texas patch on the shoulders, for example, something like that, in my personal opinion, would be a terrific idea. And if they took their home jersey and put the original Stars logo on the front again, with giving it the same striping as their away jersey, with Kelly green instead of Victory green, something like that, in my personal opinion, would look terrific. And who knows, maybe even add a white shoulder yoke to it. Something like that, in my opinion, would be perfect. But for their uniforms, though, I don't want them to go the radical, new, half-finished, ultra-modern Adidas-style look. I do not want the Stars to do that. Compared to what they've been wearing since the 90s, ever since they switched to the star-shaped jerseys, these uniforms they've got right now are by far the best they've looked in 20 years. And personally, their first uniforms from the year they moved from Minnesota, where they had Kelly green with their black and white original jerseys instead of the darker green, they did not look bad. But you know what, guys? I definitely like the idea of their new away jersey with the bright green shoulders. And their home jersey, I think it's a few tweaks away from being a phenomenal look. Personally, I do. But at some point, I would like to see them bring back their original black jersey with the Kelly green striping. Except, make sure that the striping goes all the way around on the arms, which I think before they had the numbers, where the numbers were, then the stripes went around the numbers. And I wish they'd just move the numbers up and have the stripes completely around, if you get my drift. Something like that for a third jersey would look great. And I've always liked the Dallas Stars in their original black jerseys, black and white jerseys. But the thing is, I totally agree with a lot of people. If the Stars just wear black at home, they're not unique. Where with their new home jersey, wearing a lighter green, they actually have a unique look. And I think they should own it. I just would do it a little bit different, but that's just a matter of my opinion. So, as for what the Stars are going to do with their uniforms, I can't see the Stars doing too much. I think if anything, it's going to be a new secondary logo on the shoulders and probably some black trim on the numbers and letters of their jerseys, which I think would be a great move, in my opinion. I think that's what they should do, personally. But anyways, yeah, I mean, I think they might change the striping, but for the most part, I think their uniforms are going to stay the same. Black trim on the numbers and letters and maybe a new shoulder patch. I think that's all they're going to do at this point, because their jerseys have actually been very popular and well received in Dallas from what I know. And I would love to see them go back to the original logo from when they first moved from Minnesota that did not have the Dallas subscript on it. But, at the same time, I can appreciate Dallas wanting to keep their new logo because of the fact that it's actually a Dallas logo, not a logo that they brought in from the year they moved from Minnesota. But if I had my way, I prefer the original over the new one. But the new one isn't completely terrible. I mean, it would definitely be a good secondary logo if they ever brought the original back, in my opinion. I mean, it works for a third jersey, but I just don't like their new logo compared to the old one. But on their new jerseys, I would definitely take it over those stupid wordmark jerseys. I mean, I don't even know how they lasted as long as they did. Jesus Christ. Whoever the hell thought that was a good idea, in my opinion, needs to get slapped on the butt with a hockey stick. Like, those were just the worst. Like, to be honest, I thought the Colorado Avalanche's current jerseys were better because those ones are so boring. I'm not even kidding. Oh my goodness. Did they ever make a huge gargantuan improvement with those new jerseys they've got now? But yeah, with that, you guys, I'm going to conclude this entire series with the Nashville Predators. Now, with Nashville, I have a lot of respect for their decision to decide to wear a gold jersey at home. At home. Great idea. I have a lot of respect for it. But you know what, guys? That navy blue third jersey they got rid of when they switched to these new uniforms has always been my absolute favorite Nashville Predators jersey. And the thing with Nashville is that I love the idea of wearing gold at home. It really allows them to be unique. But their new jerseys have the Reebok Edge vertical piping. I'm not a big lover of the numbers and the guitar strings going through them, even though it is an absolutely unique idea. It's very clever. But I loved the simplicity of that navy blue third jersey of theirs from before, with the checkered striping on it. It had a classic design, and it had a very unique striping pattern on it. That checkered board striping was brilliant. It was a jersey with a traditional look that had a brilliant design feature that nobody else had. And you know what? For those of you who have ever seen the Predators' white prototype jersey that was going to... Truth is, the Predators were strongly considering going with that jersey as their home jersey in the 2011-12 season with a matching white away jersey instead of the gold and white jerseys that they have now. And if I had my way, that's what the Predators would have gone with. But for me, here's what I would really like to see the Predators do. I want to see the Predators bring back that navy blue jersey as their home jersey. And I want to see the Nashville Predators make a gold version of that jersey to wear as their away uniform. And I think that would be so cool, because Nashville would be the only team with a gold away jersey. And I've been saying for a long time it would be so cool to see an NHL team that doesn't have a white away jersey. It would be something different, and I would not want to see every team do it, but it would be a real breath of fresh air. And here's what I would propose. I would propose them bring back that navy blue jersey as their home jersey. I would see the Predators have a gold version of that jersey to wear as their away uniform. Then as an alternate, they would bring back the white prototype jersey that they almost went with, which they should have went with in my opinion, as an alternate. Then for the playoffs, wear the gold away jersey at home and wear the white jersey on the road. And that would be perfect. They could wear the gold at home as the colored uniform to match their golden crowd at every home game during the playoffs now, which is awesome. And they could have the white uniform to wear on the road during the playoffs so they can wear the gold jersey at home. I think that would be a terrific idea. Nashville would have a more traditional look. They wouldn't have those Reebok Edge vertical piping uniforms. And to me, that would be amazing. They would have one of the best looks in the entire NHL if they did that. That would be so cool. The only team in the NHL with checkerboard striping on their uniforms with a traditional look, that would be a real winner in my books. That would be phenomenal. Personally, I think that would be truly phenomenal. I really do. That's what I would like them to see. That's what I would like to see them do. And as for what they're going to do next season, I have no idea. But I do know for a fact that the Predators and the Stars are getting new uniforms with the Adidas takeover of the NHL's jerseys next year, which I'm excited to see what they come up with. I kind of think it's going to be a gold jersey with a navy blue shoulder yoke this time around with striping on the arms and nothing around the waist, not even vertical piping from Reebok. And I kind of think that's probably along the lines of what they're going to go with. Now, I'm probably going to be wrong, but I could be right. And knowing the recent trend in recent years to go with half-finished looks without waist striping or just a little bit of trim on the bottom of the jersey, that's probably what we're going to end up with. Probably with a white jersey with navy blue shoulder yoke as well. Something along those lines. But anyways, you guys, with that, after 26 and a half minutes in this video, I'm going to conclude this video series. And on a final note, to my subscriber, Orbital Xstride 52, I can't thank you enough for the idea of this series. Truth is, I have really enjoyed doing this series from start to finish. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun thinking about jersey changes that I would like to see. And to me, I was really honored when somebody wanted to hear what I thought of and jersey changes that I would like to see. I thought that was so cool that somebody would be curious to know what I think. That's amazing. And that meant a lot to me. But anyways, on that final note, I hope that you, Orbital Xstride 52, as well as the rest of you viewers who have watched this series from start to finish, I hope every single one of you have enjoyed this video series. And with that, I can now finally conclude my 4-part video series covering NHL jersey changes that I would like to see. And on a final note, thanks again to you, Orbital Xstride 52. And I hope you guys enjoyed the series. And on that note, until my next video, as always, you guys, take care. And of course, you guys, as always, take care. And of course, as always, bye for now, and thank you for watching this series. I hope you guys enjoyed it.